We're making chicken with 40 cloves of garlic. I love this recipe. The chicken is so beautifully bronzed. The sauce has wine in it. The garlic starts to soften and become nice and sweet. And you're left with something so luscious, you're going to love it. And it couldn't be easier. Hi guys, I'm Laura Vitale, and on this episode of Laura in the Kitchen, you guessed it, we're making chicken with 40 cloves of garlic. A classic French dish. Obviously, this is not authentic. I am not Francaise, but I will tell you it is delicious. There are very many ways to make this dish. I know Ina Garten has made it famous. Hers, I think she uses cognac and cream. My version is much simpler. I adore it, and I think alongside a green bean and a baguette really is hard to beat. So let's get started. Let me show you what you'll need. Bone-in, skin-on chicken. I'm using thighs. I love a good chicken thigh. It's got to be bone in and skin on. It's going to be phenomenal. You'll need some flour for dredging. You'll need some white wine. You will need chicken stock, olive oil, salt, pepper, fresh thyme, obviously lots of garlic, and you'll need a little bit of parsley and some butter to finish the dish off with. It's pretty phenomenal, so let's get started. I've got my shallow Dutch oven here, getting that nice and hot. I'm going to add some oil. I feel like Papa Sal here with this thing taking forever, but I used a stopper on it because sometimes I feel like it just pours out a little bit too much, and I don't want that. That's good enough. A little bit of olive oil. Let's talk garlic for a second, okay? Now, depending on who you read that has made this dish, you'll hear different things. Some people say you don't even have to peel the garlic because the garlic will just sort of come out of its skin once you go to serve it, which it does. I peel it because I can't stand the garlic, having to squeeze the garlic out and then leaving the peel in the sauce. Do you know what I mean? So here's what you do. I take garlic cloves. You need 40 cloves, which is about 3 heads of garlic. You want to make sure that your cloves are nice and fat like that, right? You need about 40 of those. And although that sounds really excessive and you're thinking to yourself, oh my goodness, that is going to be so garlicky, something magical happens to garlic when you cook it low and slow. You're almost braising it, right? It's no different than roasting it in the oven. It becomes sweet and plump and delicious. And what you can do, if you want to, in the end, what you can do is take the garlic and sort of smash it into the sauce, and it's just like, it's next level. You're just gonna add all of your garlic cloves into a container that has a tight fitting lid, okay, while that preheats, because all I'm gonna do to the chicken is dredge it in the flour, season it well, put it in there, put a lid on. I'm going to do this off camera because it's going to be very loud, but I want to show you what I mean. You're going to do that, and it magically releases all the skin. So I'll do this off camera, but for now, let's start seasoning our chicken and getting it nice and seared. I want lots of pepper. I can feel that that's nice and hot. I can hear it. And some sale. Let me get my tongs. And now, because I've already seasoned that side, I'll just season the opposite side once it's in my flour. Like so, like that. Like that. And then just shake off the excess. Skin side down in your hot oil. And you're just going to continue to do this until all of your chicken is seasoned and seared and golden and delicious. And in the meantime, I'm going to do this in batches because I'm just not going to have enough space to do all of them, and I don't want to ever overcrowd my pan because otherwise you're going to end up steaming it, and you don't want that. You want beautiful color. So I'm going to get this going, and I'll get my garlic peeled. Chicken is looking good. I'm just going to get rid of the oil because when you work with flour, you tend to get little burnt bits of flour at the bottom of the pan, which I don't want, but there are other bits in this pan that I do want. So I just carefully, in a very clean manner, I very carefully clean out all the bits of the burnt flour. You can start from a brand new pan if you want to, but then again, why would you? I want all of that. That I want. That has good flavor. That has all the stuff that I'm interested in. So I'm gonna add some more fresh olive oil, my garlic. It gets a little bruised when you bang it around, but you know what? It's just fine. It is perfectly fine. Smoosh it around there. It smells so good already. That is going to be so wonderful. My take on this is so much simpler than others that I've seen, simply because I really want the garlic to shine. I want the chicken to be bronze and beautiful, and I just want a wine, just a little bit of stock, something to make a luscious sauce that really lets everything else shine. All I'm doing right now is just sort of sauteing the garlic for just a couple of minutes. I mean, I'm certainly not looking for the garlic to be cooked all the way through, and you're not either, so just let this go. This is looking so good. Add the wine. I want the wine to reduce by half. This will take a couple of minutes because it's a lot of wine. But again, the sauce is very wine rich. If you don't want to use wine for some reason, then just use all stock. It's all good. You will need a little bit of acid, so maybe throw a cap or so of an apple cider vinegar in there just to give it a little bit of brightness and a little bit of tang. Lemon juice would work really well as well. So that's totally up to you. I'm going to let this reduce by half. It smells so good already, and I cannot wait to have dinner. That looks perfect. See, it's reduced a good amount. I'm going to add some chicken stock. You guys know I use my chicken powder and just make my own stock. That's good enough. I'm going to nestle the chicken back in. Really try not to let the skin touch the sauce. By the way, if you were counting the garlic cloves, they are 41 because this one was cut in half. So we got exactly 40 cloves of garlic in there, which we're very happy about because it's going to make a pretty phenomenal, delicious sauce, you know? That is going to be really amazing, really amazing. I'm very excited about it, especially since it is the middle of the week and homegirl needs a little bit of comfort food, okay? Everything's in the pool. We just need to add, arroz some thyme. I don't even take the leaves off. I just sort of nestle some thyme all over. And now, once this comes up to a rolling bubble, I'm going to cover it and I'm going to let it partially cover it. I'll just leave it a little bit open on low for a good hour or an hour and a half. It's chicken thighs. You really can't go wrong. I mean, they don't overcook. They tend to stay very tender and delicious, but it's ready. I will tell you what it looks like. All right, it's been about an hour and a half. I mean, look at those dark juices from the garlic just thickening up. Everything is caramelized. The chicken's cooked through. It's perfection. I mean, look at this garlic. I mean, if I just take the back of my wooden spoon, it like melts into nothing. It's so phenomenal. I've tasted it for seasoning. It's pretty perfect at this point. I just want to hit it with some fresh parsley right in that sauce. And then just going to turn this off at this point. Some fresh thyme. It's magnificent. It's a must-have. You can finish the sauce with a little dab of butter, but actually the flour from the chicken kind of helps everything thicken and it's just pretty much amazing. It's pretty much amazing. I'm just going to go ahead and just look at the chicken. I mean, look at this. Ready? Watch. Ready? Oops. Just comes right off. I mean, I don't have to try. It comes right off. And some of that garlic, I mean, it's now just turned into a lovely thick sauce. Hot. Perfection. The skin isn't as crispy as, of course, when we first did it, because if you hear that, that's sous chef. She's so excited about this chicken. It's not as crispy as when we first seared it, but it's perfection. Go to laurainthekitchen.com for the written recipe. I hope you've enjoyed spending time with me, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.